locking now. Okay, locking and undo, they kind of go hand in hand to provide read consistency and all the stuff that we have seen so far. So we'll talk about locking, but before we jump into this, I would like to kind of give you a scenario and tell me what would happen. So there is a user A and there is user B. Okay. Now, and there is only one table here. Let us say that is in the middle. And in this table there are rows 101, 102, 103 and 104. A, B, C, D. These are the rows. This is the column ID, this is the column name. Now this user A comes in and he says update. Update, the name of the table is, let us say, T1. Update T1, set name is equal to K, where ID is equal to 101. A simple update statement. Okay, what happens now here in this case? In this case, this guy goes in and he updates this row. Obviously, the block in which this row exists, that entire block is now copied as an undo block. You know, whatever our previous discussion, the memory was. It's not just one row which has a previous image. The entire block in which this row is, that has a previous image. That has gone to undo. So that discussion I'm not going to go into the details. So undo is required, undo is created and all that stuff. But one thing is that now this row is locked. This row is locked. And why it is locked? Because I have just updated that and I don't want anybody else to mess up with that row. I don't want anybody else to do anything with that row. When I say anything to do with that row, that means I don't want that user to do any kind of another update. I don't want that user to do any delete. Those two things I don't want any other user to do, update or delete. Can other users select from that table? Yes, they can select from that table. And once they select from that table, what will they get? So I have updated the name to K here and the update has been successful. So when this guy comes in and he selects, he will not see K, he will see A from the undo. So that is something is clear to you. If this guy tries to do an update, so that select statement, read consistency, is a clear concept. Now if this guy also comes, so this happens at 1 o'clock, this happens at 2 o'clock. He comes in and says update or not update. Let us say he says delete. Delete from table where ID is equal to now I'm going to say, hold on, I'm going to say 101. Okay. Let us take a simple example. What will happen to this delete statement? Will this work? Will this get an error? What will happen? Will the deletes be successful? Will the delete be successful? No, it will not be successful. It will not be successful. Why? Because this delete is going to start deleting this thing, but that row is locked. So that row is locked. So when you fire an insert or update or delete, these three things, the row is locked. And it is locked in an exclusive way. In an exclusive way, which means that nobody else can do an insert. Obviously insert doesn't make any sense because it's a different row. Nobody else can do an update or a delete of that row because I have locked it in an exclusive fashion. When I have locked a row in an exclusive fashion, other people can just do a select, and during that select they will not be able to even see that row, they will be seeing it from the undo. So this delete statement will not work. Then what will happen? Will that delete statement get an error? Yes. Deadlock has happened. Is that what is session is locked? Will he see an error message? No error message. He will be blocked back at the SQL prompt. So he will just say SQL. Then what will
he will not be
he will not be brought at the SQL prompt. That is correct. So he will not get an error message. He will not get an error message. He will not be able to successfully update the row also. Then what will happen? He will wait for a long time. Up till what time? Up till this guy releases the lock.
commits.
So commits or rollbacks. But that means, in other words, he releases the lock. So when somebody types a commit or a rollback, the transaction finishes, the undo is marked expired, but at the same time another thing that happens, which is the rows which are exclusively locked, those locks are released.
Concept of locking and the this
Undo.
no, read-only transaction is near about same.
Near a read-only transaction is, no, read-only transaction is tied to undo. But locking does work, yes, you are absolutely correct. Locking will work over there also. All these things are working hand in hand. That is absolutely correct. So this guy will not see any error. This guy will not be able to update also. He will wait. He will wait indefinitely. Okay. And now up till what time? Up till the time this guy finishes the transaction. So when he says a commit, so now at 3 o'clock he comes in here and he types the command commit. Immediately at that 3 o'clock time here, this guy's delete will be successful. This guy's delete will be successful because just when I type the command commit, I have updated the row, it is successful, my job is finished, my undo is marked expired, and now my lock is also released. The moment the lock is released, this delete will be in effect, and then this delete will delete the row. The row will be gone. The row will be gone. And now what? Now has anybody acquired a lock? Yes, now this guy has acquired a lock, exclusive lock on that row. So if this guy comes and says, update that row and set name to something else, then this guy will not be able to do it now, because the lock has been now acquired by this guy. So likewise, whenever somebody does an insert or update or delete, the undo is in effect, which is a different thing, but locking is also in effect. The rows are locked in an exclusive way. So we need to kind of understand what kind of locks are in effect when we do an insert or update or delete. When we are doing an insert or update or delete. That is our discussion. So I will kind of talk about what locks are. So this is what the typical locking sessions are. So now, okay, now I would like to discuss this one more thing here. 1 and 3 o'clock. Now here is the thing. This delete guy, let us talk about the same situation. I have just updated this row 101 to K, and then this guy comes in and he is trying to delete that same row. So what is happening? It means this guy's session is being blocked by this guy. Okay, I will use the word blocked. Okay, blocking is a bad thing. Locking is a good thing. Locking is for read consistency. That means I am locking the row. Why? Because nobody else should update that. It is going to provide some sanity in our database. Otherwise, everybody will be able to do whatever they like. So, because I have locked the row, I am not allowing anybody to delete it, which is a good thing. But because of that, this session is being blocked, and therefore this guy might feel that my performance is very slow. He has just deleted, he wants to delete just one small row, and he is going to wait there for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds until this guy says a commit. So he feels that my performance is low. So performance could be low because of blocking. It is really not the bad performance, it is because he is waiting for somebody, and therefore blocking sessions should be identified. The blocking sessions should be identified, and that can be done by $V session. In $V session, we have a list of all the users that are logged in, and there is a column called as blocked sessions there, and that column is going to give you the SID, the system identifier. We need SID and serial number. SID of a user who is blocking my session. So why this important? Why this thing is very useful? Because this thing will happen very frequently, in your DBA career. That a user comes in and he executes a program, EXEC. That is a PLSQL program. EXEC execute and some procedure named P1. And he executes the procedure. The procedure does its job, but inside that procedure there is no commit command. So he has updated or deleted maybe 10 rows, and he has not fired a commit command. Inside that program also there is no commit command, and he just locks the terminal, and goes home that night. Okay, only one row is updated in this program. Late in the night, there is a payroll running program which needs to update that one row along with all the 1 million rows that it is going to update. What happens? That the moment your payroll program comes to that one row which has been updated by this guy but not yet committed, your payroll program gets stuck. It cannot proceed further. And then yesterday the payroll program was running for 15 minutes. Today 3 hours have happened and payroll program is still stuck. We don't know what is happening. At that time, the payroll guys are going to complain and you will have to find out, is it because the payroll program is badly written and the performance is really slow, or is it because somebody is blocking the payroll program? And that can be done by $V session. In $V session, that blocking user ID can be found out, that SID, and once that is found out, then at that time, actually, you know the SID and the serial number, and you can do the kill session that we had seen earlier. So you kill this session, and once this session is killed, then this guy will be able to go ahead. This guy will be able to go ahead. Give me just 1 second.